Hello and welcome to Fresh Perspectives. My name is Gail, and I'm happy to introduce my guest today, who is Ann Moelk from the Northern Chautauqua Canine Rescue. Thank you for coming on today, Ann.
Hello, Gail. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. Now, I'd like you to introduce the little guy that you brought with you today.
Well, I have a very sweet little guy. His name is Copper, and he's a little bit nervous to be on camera. So he's acting just a bit shy right now. Mm-hmm. We think he's a mix of Jack Russell, Terrier, and Beagle. He's about 20 pounds.
He's got some growing to do yet then, right? You said he's only 9 months old?
I think he's going to get a little bit bigger.
Okay, maybe 25 pounds.
Yeah.
He loves attention. He's been keeping us all busy here so far this morning since he arrived. He's got a really cute little face. When was NCCR formed?
NCCR started in 1999, where we will be celebrating a big anniversary next year, 20 years.
What's going to be the date of that, do you know?
I'm not sure. We don't have anything planned yet.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you're going to have a big party.
Yeah.
So, so it'll be your 20th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so unless they're too young to be spayed or neutered, they all are spayed and neutered and vaccinated, right?
Yes, before our dogs are adopted, they get either spayed or neutered. They get the vaccinations they need. We get rid of any worms they might have, and then we take their picture.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I just had a naturopathic doctor on my program a few weeks ago, and she was talking about parasites. Mm-hmm. So that was what our talk was about that day. But not just with dogs.
So can humans get them also?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. And it might be easier than you think. Okay, okay, so when are you open for visitors?
We are open Monday through Saturday from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So people can stop in and see the dogs we have any day of the week. Mm-hmm. If somebody wants to come in and see the dogs but can't come at those times, if they call or email, we can set up an appointment for them.
Okay. Yeah, because not everybody can come in the afternoon like that.
But we're also open on Saturday from 1 to 3.
Monday through Saturday,
yes.
6 days a week.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, tell us about your being a nonprofit organization.
NCCR is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And that helps people who want to donate to us be able to take a tax deduction for their donation. So.
Okay. So, what is the cost for adopting a dog?
It costs $190 to adopt a dog. And like I said before, they will have all their vetting done, you know, be ready to go. If someone's going to adopt a puppy from us that's maybe only 8 or 9 weeks old, then that puppy is too young to be spayed or neutered yet. So the cost for the puppies is $250. And once that puppy has been spayed or neutered, then they get a refund of $125.
Okay. So, you have upcoming events The Putts for Mutts, you're going to do that again this year, are you?
Yes, we are. That's coming up really soon, in about 2 weeks, actually 2 weeks from today.
Oh.
It's June 2nd.
June 2nd. And that's at a certain golf course?
It's at the Pinehurst Golf Course, which is in Westfield on Route 20. It's a two-person scramble. Now, that means something to golfers, but please don't ask me to describe what that means. I'm not a golfer, but you can basically, you sign up, two people sign up together and then they golf together.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And the scramble, I think, is that there's a team on each golf hole, and they all start at the same time.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
we have a nice day. We have great prizes. We have a raffle, so you can buy raffle tickets and participate in the raffle, because we have some really nice raffle items that have been donated.
Oh, good, good. And then you're going to have the yard sale again then. You
Yes.
have that the same weekend as the Arts and Crafts Show in Westfield, in the park there?
We do, because there's so many people in Westfield for the Arts and Crafts Show that we want them to come to our yard sale after they've been to the Arts and Crafts Show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did that last year, actually. I bought some things. By the time I got there, it was late in the afternoon, and you were doing fill a bag for $5.
Yep, we do that too.
So,
So it's the last Friday and Saturday in July.
okay. Now, I thought I saw a sign saying, as far as accepting donations to be sold at the yard sale, that you don't accept, there was clothing and one other thing that you don't accept for that. What was the other thing?
So the other things are, we cannot accept clothing, mattresses, televisions, or any kind of electronics.
Oh, okay.
So no televisions, no computers, no printers.
There's a problem if you accept any of that?
Well, the trouble is, if we accept it and then it doesn't sell, we
you're-
have to pay to get rid of it.
Oh.
And it costs us more money than we can ever make on those things. So we
I
appreciate it
see.
if you don't give us those things that we
Oh,
have
okay.
to pay to have removed.
Oh, okay. I knew there had to be a reason
Yeah.
why you couldn't accept them. So then it's quite a lot of work then to go through all of the donations.
We have a great team that puts on the yard sale. And we start collecting donations July 1st.
For the following year.
No, for the current year.
Oh, you haven't actually done that
No.
yet.
So on July 1st, we start to accept items. People can bring their stuff to us Monday through Saturday during our open hours, which are 1 to 3, 6 days a week. And we organize them, price them, and display them. We take the whole month of July to do it, and then the last weekend in July is the sale. So we're so fortunate to have wonderful support of the community who gives us all this great stuff to sell.
Oh, that's great. Now you have open houses from time to time. I'm under the impression you do more than one of those a year?
We have an open house every month.
Oh, every month? Wow.
Yes. It's always the third Saturday in the month.
The third Saturday of the month.
And that's from noon to 3.
Noon to 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and do a lot of dogs usually get adopted at the open houses?
Yes. We're usually quite busy for open houses, and hopefully several dogs go home that day.
Yeah. I haven't ever made it to one of those, but anyway. Now, what are the daily duties of the volunteers at the shelter?
In the morning, we let all the dogs out in a yard so they can go potty
Right.
and get some exercise.
Right.
And while the dogs are out in the yards, several volunteers clean each kennel. We take everything out of the kennel, sanitize it, and then once everything's clean, put it back in, clean fresh bucket of water, clean bed, clean bedding, sheets or blankets, and then we get the dog food ready. So we fix the food in each bowl for each dog and put it in their kennel. And when that's all complete, we bring the dogs in from the yard so they can have breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, breakfast.
Breakfast. And then people come in and walk the dogs. You have volunteers that
Yes.
come in and walk the dogs.
Then we have a couple more volunteers who come in later in the morning and start walking dogs. And every dog gets a walk.
Somebody's
then-
got such a cute little face over there.
He has an adorable face. I wish he'd get up and show it a little better.
He gets really smug looking when somebody's petting him.
He's, I think he's just a little shy. He wants to hide his head. Oh well, he's just a puppy. We have to,
Yeah.
he's just a little puppy. Yeah.
Now you're there on Mondays. Do you stay until Betty Bye time then?
On Mondays, I'm there from first thing in the morning when we get started until about 4:30.
Oh.
And I leave for lunch because they have to go home and take care of my own dog.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Then come back after lunch and open things up, and then people can come in and visit. In the afternoons, the dogs are in their kennels or visiting with people. We've got a couple of different rooms where we can take a dog to and can meet the new people, see how they get along. And then in the late afternoon, they all get some time in the yard again, and then they get their dinner.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you may have noticed that I'm wearing a T-shirt that says Northern Chautauqua Canine Rescue on it, and so is Ann.
And I am also.
The shelter has a gift shop, and T-shirts are some of the things that they have there for sale, and the proceeds go to help support the dogs. And some people even make things homemade
They do.
that they donate to the shelter to help raise money to help the dogs. So
We're very fortunate to have crafty people who like to donate things they've made and allow us to sell their things.
yeah, that's really nice.
We have T-shirts, and in the fall we have sweatshirts. We try to change it a little bit depending on the season and get new things in.
Okay. Now, I'm going to have Chris show a picture of a dog, a picture that I brought in. Oh, now she's looking at the camera. I said she by mistake.
Cooper.
Oh, there she is, yes. This
There.
dog is no longer at the shelter, but I wanted to show her because she has a really interesting story. I actually had the opportunity to meet her. Her name is Kimmy, and I had the opportunity to meet her back in June before she went up on the website because she wasn't ready to be adopted yet. She had some minor health issues that needed to be addressed, and we had lost our dog a few months earlier. Our dog had passed away, and I sort of fell in love with this dog when I saw her and would have liked to adopt her, except that my husband was not ready to adopt. So then eventually she went up on the website, and somebody who saw her on the website called the shelter, was it?
The people who saw her thought that she was part wolf. And if she was part wolf, that we wouldn't be able to adopt her.
Because it's not legal to have dogs that are part wolf in
No.
New York State.
It's not. So, because a DNA test is kind of expensive, we never did one.
Oh, you didn't?
But we allowed her to go to a rescue that is able to have a wolf-dog combination legally, and from there they adopted her into a home. So she's not in New York State anymore, but she has been adopted into a home, and we hear she's doing great.
Well, I heard that they have, like, the family has little children and cats, and she gets along with all of them.
Yes.
But
She's turned out to be a great dog.
I just wanted to show her picture because she was one of the most beautiful dogs I think I ever saw, you know.
She was very beautiful, and our feeling was that this dog was a Siberian Husky. So,
well, you know,
in fact, I think we did do a DNA test on her.
yeah, I thought that you said you
I
did.
think we did.
But then you sent her away anyway, for some reason. But anyway, to me, she looked like a cross between, because she had so much blonde hair, I thought that she looked like a cross between a Samoyed Husky and a Siberian Husky, because she was blonde but had some dark markings.
Yeah, she was a beautiful dog.
Very, very beautiful.
And with so many of them, we really don't know exactly what the mix is. Like this little guy, we think he's a mix of Jack Russell Terrier and Beagle, but we really don't know that for sure. That's just what we think he looks like, and he acts
You
like.
you could very well be right, you know. So now you have a dog named Sammy that you had way back last year, and she still hasn't been adopted. Would you like to tell our viewing audience about Sammy?
Sammy is a very special story. She's our special girl. She has been with us for more than a year. She was running loose out by Casadega.
Oh.
And the neighbor had a dog, a Mastiff, that was tied out on a chain. And the Mastiff got loose and met our Sammy. And she got pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
So she was pregnant running loose near Casadega, and our director, Marcia, tried very hard to catch her so she could have her puppies inside.
Oh, yeah.
It was October, it was getting ready to be cold, and we were afraid she was going to have her puppies somewhere and they were going to die of the cold. Well, eventually, Sammy was able to be caught and brought to NCCR. She had her puppies in one of our rooms, and I think there were 8, although I could be wrong on that. It's been a while. 8 beautiful Treeing Walker Coonhound Mastiff puppies.
Yeah.
And she was such a fierce mother that she wouldn't let anybody near the puppies. So it was interesting in the beginning to get the room cleaned and the puppies cared for, with Sammy very intent on protecting her puppies.
Oh, yeah.
But the puppies got older. They were all adopted into good homes.
Good.
And we still have Sammy. She's not as feral as she was, but she's still nervous around people, and it takes a while for her to get to know somebody. Those of us she sees on a regular basis, she allows us to put the leash on her and pet her and take her out to a yard. So she's come a long, long way.
So you're looking for a very special family or person with a lot of patience.
Yes.
Hopefully to get her finally adopted. Somebody who has a fenced-in yard or would be able to fence in their yard.
Yes.
And
We feel she really needs a fenced-in yard because she might take off. Because she's been on her own before. We just feel there's a good chance she might want to be on her own again.
And it really should be somebody with another dog, or would be willing to at least adopt another dog to go with her.
She's really more comfortable when there's another dog around. So we're hoping that if she would be able to go to a home, that there would be another dog there for her to have companionship.
Now, you had a couple of really big dogs a year ago when I first was getting acquainted with you in the shelter, and one of them was a German Shepherd, and the other one was kind of looked on the order of a big Newfoundland.
Yes.
Really, really big dogs. And
Bear and Izzy.
And you were hoping to get them adopted out in the same family because they were a bonded pair. And so you said that somebody did actually do
Yes.
that, and then they came back and adopted a puppy, one of the puppies.
Two
Was
puppies.
it two puppies?
They adopted two puppies and Bear and Izzy.
Wow.
And so they have a house full of big dogs.
Oh, did they turn out to be big dogs? The one they
The puppies, I think, are more mid-sized dogs. I don't think they're real big dogs. But Bear is, yeah, at least part Newfoundland and is very large, and the German Shepherd.
You
so.
said that you had heard that the German Shepherd would sort of took care of the puppies.
Yes, yes, it was really cute to see the pictures.
Oh yeah, I wish I could have seen them. Okay, I guess we probably could move along now to showing the pictures of the dogs that are presently at the shelter. Oh, there's some puppies.
Uh-huh.
Dogs just want to have fun. Now, who is that?
Some of these dogs on this banner that's on our website, that's Sammy.
That's Sammy right
there.
there, yeah.
She's still at the shelter, but some of the other ones have been adopted already.
And there's your crew.
Our group of volunteers.
That's a good-sized crew, really, you know. You're lucky to have so many people.
We have some wonderful volunteers. Oh,
and
there he is. This is our boy.
That is the guy that's on television with us right now.
So he
Copper.
Get a chance to see his face there a little bit better.
Did he come to the shelter already with the name Copper?
He did, yes.
So that was what they were already calling
Yeah,
him.
that was what they were calling him.
And is that him too? Or is that somebody
No,
else?
that's somebody else.
Okay. Now, who is this?
This is one of the puppies that was just recently adopted.
Oh, Veronica?
Uh-huh. And there's Sammy
There's
again.
Sammy. I would love to be your pampered pooch. Well, I really do hope that maybe somebody who watches this program comes in and adopts her, because she certainly enjoys.
There we go.
There's
These are
Sammy
the
there.
list.
And that
And we
is
have
Tango?
Tango, yes.
A medium adult. Is he what then?
He's a lab or a black lab mix.
Okay.
Maybe, there he is.
Oh,
There he
now there's a
is.
cute facial expression. Okay, and this is Priscilla.
Priscilla,
A
yes.
small adult female, and she's a mixture of stuff, isn't she? Huh.
And she's recovering from an accident. She was
Oh.
hit by a car.
Oh, before she came to the shelter? Prudence.
She's a special case. She was a puppy mill dog, and she's in a foster home right now. because she's so fearful that it's taking her a lot of time to adjust to life outside the puppy mill.
Oh. Okay, so she was an adult that was, they were breeding for puppies?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a cute face. That looks something on the order similar to his, except different coloring.
And I believe she's in a foster home.
Oh, she's in a
Oh, she's a
foster-
courtesy listing.
A
for
courtesy listing.
Another shelter called Because You Care in McCain, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And a courtesy listing is we put one of their dogs up on our website, and they put one of our dogs up on their website.
Oh.
So it gives a wider audience to see the pictures.
Is it usually one that they've been having trouble getting adopted, or?
It's usually one that's been there for a while.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. And that
Is Remy.
Remy,
We believe she's a boxer mastiff.
a boxer
Combo.
mastiff miss.
And she's a
Mix.
very big girl, but she's very sweet.
Uh-huh.
And somebody's done some training with her, so she walks really well on a leash.
Oh, good.
So even though she's a large, large dog, she's not pulling you all over.
Oh, that's good. Rudy.
Rudy is a puppy. He's still in our puppy room. He is adorable. He's probably about 12 weeks old, I think, maybe around there. So he might grow a little more. And
His ears look a little bit like bat wings.
yes. There he is again.
Oh, that's the same dog?
Yes.
Oh, it's funny, they look so different depending on how they're posing. Ollie.
Ollie is a very handsome fellow.
Yeah, is he one of those, I'm trying to think of the name, Newfoundlands?
He's not as big as a Newfoundland,
Uh-huh.
but he may have some Newfoundland in the mix because he has that wonderful thick, long coat.
Right,
But he's not quite as big as a Newfoundland would be.
and he has that look.
He might be Lab Newfoundland mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Sweetheart, what?
Molly.
Molly is not at the shelter yet, so I'm afraid I don't know much about her.
She's going to be showing up, but she's not there yet.
Yes. Sometimes if a family has to turn over their dog, but it's not urgent, the dog stays in the home where it's much more relaxed and calm until we can find an adoption for it.
Oh.
So we put the dog up on the website, and people can see the dog on the website and make an appointment to meet the dog. And I think that's the case with that Molly.
And who is this?
This is Abby.
Abby.
She again is a lab mix, but with something smaller.
Oh, yeah. That's a cute facial
Yeah,
expression.
she's a really cute dog. Very loving and friendly.
Oh.
Enrico.
Enrico is a Chihuahua?
Yes, he's a Chihuahua. And we don't fully know his story, but we think he had a pretty rough time because he came to us with a lot of scars.
Oh.
The scar on his head between his eyes has improved a lot since that picture was taken. So he's healing and relaxing. He's not quite as nervous as he was in the beginning, but he's still fearful.
Yeah, I've noticed from visits to the shelter, it seems like you get more Chihuahuas and hound type, hunting type dogs than any other kinds for some reason.
Well, I think Chihuahuas are a very popular breed,
Uh-huh.
and I think a lot of people don't realize that a Chihuahua is a little dog, but sometimes they have a big attitude. And I think sometimes people decide not to keep their Chihuahua because it's too much to take care of, even though they're small.
And this is another, looks like a hunting variety of dog.
I
maybe.
believe this is Solomon,
Solomon?
which again, a lab mix. He's got a little bit of a brown cast to his coat, which you can't really see in this picture.
And a really long snout.
So again, he might be mixed with something else. And he's very calm.
Do a lot of dogs come in that you don't really know where they came from and you give them names, or?
Yes, that happens sometimes. We get dogs in from other shelters, like for instance Indiana. There are shelters around Indianapolis that we have people we work with who will pull a dog out of one of those shelters right before its time is up. And then there are other volunteers who put together a transport to bring those dogs to shelters like NCCR is. And when we get dogs that way, we really don't know anything about them.
Oh.
We guess at their age, we guess at their breed. Most of them will have a name given to them at the previous shelter. Once they're given a name, we keep that name because the dog's gotten to know it a little bit usually. And we realize people are going to change the name most of the time when they get the dog home. When
A
it's
name that
adopted.
they like.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I did that 2 years ago when I adopted 2 cats. The one had a name that I liked, so I left that. But the other one, no, I didn't care for the name, so I changed it to a name that I like. But she's got used to it before too long, so I don't know. Do you know if there were other pictures to be shown yet or not?
Well-
oh yeah, I guess there are.
This cute little dog is going to the groomer on Monday.
Oh, I hope so.
A lot of hair.
What kind of a dog is it? Is it? It's probably a mixture of some of
It's
those.
a mixture. I'm really not sure.
It's one of those. It's one of those dogs that you probably won't be able to take care of at home. You will have to every couple of months take them
I think so.
to be trimmed.
Because it's that soft, fluffy hair that gets matted if it's not groomed once in a while.
Oh yeah.
So I
yeah.
think she's going to need to go to the groomer
And
periodically.
what's her name?
If I could see the first part of the picture on the website, I could tell you.
Oh, Razzie.
This is Razzie.
Razzie.
So we're thinking she's Lhasa Apso and Terrier mix.
Oh yeah. So. And there is Copper.
Yes.
There you are, Copper. You little rascal, you.
Loves attention.
Yes, he does.
See, there he is.
Really
There we can
does.
see him. His cute spots.
See how cute you are, Copper? He wants to get up on the table.
I think he wants to come over and see you, Gail.
Yeah. Should we let him?
I don't know. He might knock everything off the table.
Are there more pictures? Do you know?
I think that was all the
That
pictures.
was all of them, okay.
We're kind of, we've had several adoptions.
So you're
we're
not
kinda low.
overloaded right now.
Yeah.
Okay. How big of a building do you have?
We have a building that has been added on to a little bit. We have an area that's got about, 20 kennels. And then we have another part of the building where if a stray is picked up in Westfield and comes in through the dog control officer, goes on the stray side, so it's not, the stray dog's not interacting right away with the other dogs in case it's got some sort of sickness or something.
Okay, are there people around there 24 hours a day?
No. There are people there during the day from 7:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. Then nobody's there for a couple of hours. Then the evening shift comes in about 6 o'clock or 6:30, and all the dogs get to go for a walk, get time out in the yards again if it's a nice evening, and depending on how many volunteers are there in the evening, sometimes they get a bath or some brushing. They get to play ball in the learning center. Then the evening shift leaves somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30, and then there's nobody at the kennel overnight.
Okay. Now, you always need donations of supplies for taking care of the dogs, like sheets and towels and things.
Yes, we have several things we're always asking for. We have a wish list that's up on our website that includes puppy pads and bleach, laundry detergent, paper towels. Those are some of the biggies. We like toys for the dogs to play with, like Nylabones. We don't give the dogs rawhides. That's one thing we don't need.
Okay.
And we also always need gently used sheets or towels. We use those in the kennels for bedding, and we also use those for puppies. And when we have a litter of puppies, we go through a lot of sheets and towels. We can also use blankets as well.
Oh, okay, blankets, yeah. Is it nice and cozy in the shelter in the winter months?
Well, we keep the heat set at about 62.
62?
So it's a little cool, but each dog has a raised bed, a Caranda bed in their kennel.
So they're up off the floor.
So they're up off the floor, and then we put a blanket on the bed, so they have a nice warm place to lay.
Okay. I'm trying to think. There were some other dogs that I've met there over the years. You had a Mastiff there when I came to visit the first time, and she got adopted.
She was adopted, yes. So we have them from all sizes, from the tiniest Chihuahua to the biggest Mastiff, and everything in between.
Oh gosh.
So over the space of a year, we probably have any dog anybody could imagine.
Now, is Sammy the only dog that's been there for way over a year?
Yes, she's our longest resident.
So all of the dogs that you had a year ago at this time are in homes now?
Yes, they've all been adopted. Bojangles, who was here on the show with me last year, he was adopted.
Oh, I figured he would go quickly,
Yeah,
very quickly.
He was very cute.
Yeah, he was a cutie. He was he wasn't really a puppy anymore, was he?
No, I think he was an adult dog, but don't ask me what mix he was because I don't remember. But he was a beautiful red color.
Yeah, he was a red-haired dog. Yeah. So I was wondering if oh, she left the room. I was wondering if Emerald wanted to come on with us and show them how good she is with dogs, but she seems to have left the room.
What a little cutie.
Yes, he is. He's
being
really,
so good.
really cute.
Such a good boy.
Did Emerald leave? Oh, okay. must have gone home or something. How can people get a hold of you, and what is your address?
So there are various ways people can get a hold of us. You can call us on the phone, 716-326-PAWS is our phone number. We are located at 7540 North Gale Street in Westfield, New York. We have a website. Our web address is www.caninerescue.org.
Okay. You have a couple of dogs of your own at home.
I do.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Right now I have one German Shepherd. Her name is Katrina, and she's 12 and a half years old.
Wow. Did you lose a dog since last year? I was thinking that you said you had two.
That is correct. I did lose a dog. Her name was Harlow. She lived to be 13 and a half, and she passed away in November.
She was pretty old then?
She was pretty old for a German Shepherd.
She was a German Shepherd also. Okay. So that's the kind of dog you really like, German Shepherd.
Yeah, I'm a German Shepherd fan. If you want to. I think he's okay.
So, can't adopt right now, but still want to help a shelter dog? Why not sponsor, it says. Do you want to talk about sponsoring a shelter dog?
Yes. Some people would like to donate on a regular basis, and they become a sponsor. Their name is listed on the website, and periodically they get a card or a note that talks about the dog and when it's been adopted, or for instance, Copper here his sponsor might get a picture of his visit today or something.
Okay, so they basically, by sponsoring a dog, does that mean that they support the dog until it gets adopted?
They donate $10 a month to help support the dog, yes. Some people choose to donate more, so whatever anybody would like to do, we're happy to have.
Yeah, I've seen pictures in the newspaper. Sometimes there'll be a whole page in a newspaper of various different dogs that are in shelters, and it'll name different businesses and like that are sponsoring that particular dog.
Or sometimes the business will sponsor that ad in the newspaper also.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
the whole
that happens
ad.
too.
Yeah, I think I even saw some of the veterinarians' offices listed sometimes as sponsors for certain dogs.
Yeah.
Look at that little face. Oh, there's your fenced-in area for dogs that you board that they can go in and run around in, and it looks like a cleaning bucket over to the right there.
Or a water bucket. That could be a dog's water bucket.
A dog's water bucket.
Yeah.
And
We have one room available for boarding, and say a family has 2 dogs or 3 even, the dogs can stay together in that room while their family's out of town.
Sometimes there's a few different families that I've pet sat from time to time, just within the Mayville area where I live, mainly. It's where families want to let their animals stay home, and they get somebody that lives nearby to take care of their pets while they're gone. And in the case of what I do, I stay overnight with the pets.
How nice.
it's kind of like, well, you know, it's like kind of a cross between house sitting and pet sitting. You know, if somebody's there,
You're looking after the house as well,
you probably
and the pets.
yeah. So it's an extra added feature, you know, where their house is protected as well as the pets.
Well, I would imagine that's really nice for the pets, because
yeah.
then they don't have to
Yeah.
leave their home, go to a stressful place where there's a lot of other dogs barking.
Right, right.
And
So, but it's kind of interesting. I had kind of an interesting experience one time when I was pet sitting for some people. The last couple of days they were gone. Normally I would go out to their mailbox and get their mail and bring it in and everything, you know, too. And one day I didn't find, there would be certain times I'd be gone for a while in the morning, you know, after I had the dogs out for a while and everything. And then I would come back in the afternoon and take the dogs for a walk. And they had cats also. And then when I'd come back after supper, you know, I'd bring their mail in from the mailbox, and one day there was no mail in the box, and I thought, well, they maybe just didn't get any, until I got in the house and found out that the mail, some fresh mail, was sitting on the table with the other mail that I've been bringing in, and you know, and it's like, I thought, I just kind of assumed at the time that, you know, maybe the wife's brother had, you know, stopped by to check on things or something, except that then I found out that she hadn't, or he hadn't. But then the next day, the last day before they got back, when I got there, not in the evening, not only had somebody brought in the mail, but they had sorted the mail out into piles for each of the individual family members. Well, I found out when they got back, I was getting a little bit creeped out.
Yeah,
you know,
that could be a little scary, somebody been in the house.
So I finally wind up finding out it was the boyfriend of one of their daughters was coming to check to see if she'd gotten something, a letter or anything from some of the colleges she'd applied to, was what it was. But it seemed a little creepy there.
That does sound a little creepy, not knowing who was in the house.
Yeah, somebody should have told me at a time. But that was. Oh yeah. Okay. So what is how is the adoption done when a person adopts a dog then?
So when a person comes in and meets a dog they think they might like, they fill out an adoption application, which asks them questions about, do they have a fenced yard, and have they had dogs before, and it's a couple pages of adoption application. And we ask them to give references. If they have dogs or cats, we ask for a veterinarian that they've been using as a reference. And we call their references and check them out. So once we find out that they're check out well, they're approved, they either get an email or a call, and then they can come in and fill out sign the paperwork, the adoption, and take the dog home.
Oh, yeah.
When they're getting to know a dog, sometimes people have another dog in their home already, and they want to know, will the dogs get along with each other? So then we'll set up an appointment that they can bring their dog in and meet the new dog to be sure that the two dogs were going to like each other.
Oh, yeah. And then hopefully if there's cats in the house,
that's a little more of a challenge. One of our volunteers has a cat who's very mellow, and she can bring in her cat and test it with the dog to see if they're going to get along okay. Now, we don't always know if the dog's going to get along with their specific cat at home, but most of the time, if it's a good reaction to the first cat, it'll be okay.
Yeah. Now, 2 years ago when I adopted 2 cats and we still had our dog, well, we knew that he loved cats anyway. But we brought the 2 cats home that we adopted, and the first day we didn't allow the dog. We kept the cats in a certain room, and we didn't allow the dog in there the first day, but they could see him out in the yard. And then the next couple of times or so, my husband brought the dog into the room on a leash, and he was very calm around the cats. You know, he was glad to see that we'd adopted some more. He'd always loved the one that we had. He was good buddies with the one that we had before, and one of them warmed up to him within a week's time. The other one actually took all summer, you know. But eventually even that one warmed up to the dog, and she wound up sleeping in bed with the dog.
Oh my goodness.
On the dog's bed, yeah.
So they got to be close friends.
Yeah, they did. And the one that warmed up to him right away was always real friendly and cuddly with the dog. They were always, you know, playing kissy face with each other and, you know, touching noses and licking each other's faces. And the cat would rub himself up against the dog and everything, you know, and they'd lay on the floor together, and, you know, and so dogs and cats can be really good friends with each other.
I'm afraid he's going to go jumping off.
You never know. He might be wanting an adventure.
We'll let him get on the ground a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Come here, Copper. Sit down. Sit down, good boy. Yeah.
He's a cutie pie, aren't you, Copper?
He's a good boy. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I think he's going to make somebody a wonderful dog.
You are going to make somebody a wonderful dog, Copper.
He likes to play ball, so he can be more active than we're seeing here today.
Well, he can't really run around too much here at the studio, but I'm sure that you get him out for some walks, you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And he seems to walk well on a leash.
He does. And he just likes everybody he meets.
I noticed
He goes
that,
up to strangers. He's not barking at all. He's actually very quiet at the shelter, even in his kennel.
And he just loves to be fussed over.
Yes.
He just wants attention all the time. For somebody who wants a dog that is just going to be a constant companion, he's the perfect one. He probably doesn't know any tricks yet, does he?
No, he doesn't.
No.
You know, he's only 9 months old.
And
so
you have somebody who sometimes helps people
yes,
with training?
we have, her name is Lisa. We have the HASDA program, which is an acronym for Helping a Sheltered Dog Adjust. And some dogs, when they go into a home, have a few problems, or the people have an issue with something. It could be house training. It could be getting along with another dog. It could be just that they don't want him to jump up on the bed or the couch. And Lisa is a wonderful trainer. She'll come into the home, assess the dog, and work with it, and teach the people how to work with it.
Oh, yeah.
And that service is free for the first 30 days after the adoption. Most of the small problems that the dog would have adjusting can be helped quite a bit in that period of time. Then if somebody decides they want to do maybe more extensive training, they can work with Lisa after that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember there used to be an article. There's this free newspaper that comes around that gets delivered. It gets delivered in our neighborhood. I don't know if you get it or not.
What's the name
The
of it?
Penny Saver.
I don't get that anymore, no.
Yeah, it seems like the Westfield people aren't getting it. I know my son lives in Westfield, and he says they don't deliver it at his house either, but we still get it out where we live. And they used to, I remember once upon a time, they had a weekly article called, I think it was called Paws Corner, and it would give tips on training your dog.
How nice.
You know, or somehow caring for all different kinds of issues. And that's how it was something that I read in there, the last dog that we had. It was how I got him to stop jumping up on me. Because he was getting to be really big. Even as a puppy, he was really big. And but anyway, they told this little trick about when the dog jumps up on you, grab a hold of their front feet and hold them up as high as their front end, as high as they can, and say don't jump. And for some reason that's uncomfortable for them or something, and he got to where he wouldn't jump up on me anymore.
Well, that's good.
The only problem at that point was then he couldn't seem to. He'd still get all excited and crazy.
He was happy to see you.
When there were other visitors, you know what I mean, coming. He always wanted to jump on them. It was like he was making, distinguishing between us and visitors, you know. So, so it, you know, he never really quit being frisky, you know. It's just that he got cancer, and so so anyways, I wanted to say thank you for coming on again this year and bringing a dog to introduce to our viewing audience, and I will see the rest of you in a couple of weeks.
Good. We always enjoy your visits.